Welcome back, everybody. So today we are going to be doing another civil war scenario. This time with the entirety of the Middle East. As you remember, I said that in the last video, and here's the map from the last video, Afghanistan, obviously. Um, let's begin. So, firstly, the team drafting. We're gonna have Afghanistan itself. Obviously, it's gonna be on green team, but then we have to do the rest of Afghanistan. But before that, Iran, because remember, Iran. They also have the Houthis, though, right over there. Um, also remember this is for entertainment purposes only, and also like and subscribe. So they have that part, northern Yemen. They have that, and well, that yeah, these guys they're southern Yemen, so they're gonna go there. There, that's another part of them, which also includes the Saudis. But then also, what's the next? Nothing happened. Oh, Qatar. Oh yeah, and Jordan. Jordan. Okay. Next, we have Egypt on the Saudi team. We have what changed? Oh, Kuwait. Kuwait. What? Yeah, Iraq. Iraq. I placed. Oh, and Syria on that team, but Iraq I placed on this team because I feel like it's gonna get teamed on by literally everybody, especially Iran and Saudi. They're going to try to invade it from both sides just to get to each other. Turkey and Syria on the same team. The Syrian government is very close to Turkey right now, so we're going to do that. Azerbaijan, I don't know what I just do. Why? I don't know why I put Azerbaijan on that. Let me change that up real quick. But before that, let's do the rest. Okay, yeah, no, let's change that up first, and then we can do the rest. So first things first, the Armenia Azerbaijan, I made a mistake. I meant those two to be on the exact opposite teams from each other. So Turkey, they're on that purple team, which means Azerbaijan is also on the purple team. And then Armenia is actually the one on the red team. I did that wrong. Armenia is the one on the red team. Red team, red team, red team. Okay, there we go. Red team, and I don't like Pain 3D. It keeps crashing. Subscribe so Pain 3D can get better. Then these guys are on the red team, and yeah, because they're the puppet state of Iran from last episode. These two are both on the Saudi team, and UAE kind of likes the South Yemen. So then these guys will also be on Turkey's team, and Turkey's team is kind of like the American allies team. So we're gonna put Israel on there. So then obviously Palestine is gonna go to either blue or red. First Lebanon though, they're gonna go red there with Iran. So I guess we have to put Palestine on. I feel like right now they probably go on red, I guess. No, I feel like they would go on blue, but red team has literally nothing over here, so we're gonna give it to them. But realistically, they would be on blue. And then lastly, let me check my notes. Okay, these guys I feel like would probably go blue, right? I don't know. Um, yeah, they would go. Oh no, first these guys they're gonna go brown. Yeah, and these guys yeah, they're gonna go blue because I guess they don't want to be on the same team as Israel and Turkey, since like you know those guys are probably the strongest on their teams, and they're like all the way over there, so that means their team is insanely weak. So they're gonna go blue team, and then we can give Turkey their European thing too, and now we can begin. So Iran is going to quickly get try to like combo the Iraqis and Azerbaijanis. One to get like good ground on Saudi, two to kind of combo Turkey and kind of scare them a little bit. In Iraq, it's gonna go pretty well. The Kurdistani areas, I know that's unstable in Iraq. Remember, this is for entertainment purposes only, not political. So using that, they're gonna push out pretty far. But over in Azerbaijan, their attacks are going to fail, and instead they're going to be forced to watch as Armenia kind of just disintegrates. Yeah, let's be honest here, Armenia is not surviving Turkey and Azerbaijan without any outside help other than Iran, who is also kind of dying by Saudi. Because, now there's definitely a naval blockade here, let's be honest. Meanwhile, over here, the Afghans are going to actually completely try and destroy Balochistan region because of the fact that, remember, they they do not they lost this thing because of Pakistan. They actually destroyed it right before Pakistan invaded it, which means that without Pakistan these guys are cooked now, and Pakistan's not going to get involved. They got what they wanted last episode. But that does not mean that the Balochistanis will have no help, because not intentionally, however, Iran's invasion of Afghanistan is going to give them give the Balochistanis some time to prepare as the Afghanistan front comes to a close in Balochistan. Back over here, Iran, in an effort to continue opening its shipping again, is actually going to make a little landing right here in the UAE, and they're actually going to capture a lot of the UAE's little tip over here, and with the UAE's only ally across the entire thing, um, they might be cooked. But also, this is also why I put Iraq on its own team, because Turkey's also probably going to invade it just so it can get that coastline access. So with Syria, Turkey launches a blitzkrieg campaign through Iraq. However, Iraq is going to be able to resist until, oh, that's way too much. Nope, that we can undo that. Iraq is going to resist a little bit until it's going to eventually become too much, right? Because now we can watch as the Saudis also quickly push through, and with the blue team, they're going to capture just in a straight line the entire south of Iraq. And now Iraq is completely sandwiched, which is not good. Iran and the Saudis are going to try to stay as far away from each other's territory as possible. However, Turkey not having that problem of rivalry, they're just going to send their troops straight. And I think Iran already has control over Baghdad. I think that's right there. So yeah, with that, I guess Turkey's gonna capture the rest, and then the Saudis are going to eventually make the Iraqi surrender to them instead of Iran, because they have rivalries between them. So now, ooh, that's not good for Iran. Over here, let's I don't even know what to tell you about Lebanon. Like, what? They're not surviving. Let's be honest here. I don't want to deal with this part of the earth, so we're just gonna say that instead of either of these guys winning, actually blue team is the one that wins. I what? Okay, anyways, yeah, I don't want to take sides between those two, so blue team is the one that's going to win that area. But other than that, though, Syria over here is actually going to begin their own push down, and they're actually going to capture a nice little region. And then, after capturing this, they're going to completely get pushed back, and now we can watch as the blue team kind of just like pushes up over here, and yeah, Syria's gone. Now, blue team troops begin entering Syria, and Turkey is going to begin to realize that maybe 1v1ing the blue team is not an option, and instead they kind of have to focus on Iran a lot. So they're going to begin pushing into Iran, especially from the north, which is going to hurt the Iranis quite a bit. Like that's going to hurt in the morning. Quickly, Turkey is going to push through, connecting themselves even closer with Azerbaijan, while the Saudis are actually going to push also, except their push is going to be aimed at getting into the key Iranian ports and shutting down the Iranian economy so that they can easily knock out Iran even faster. With the capture of that little region thing, uh, let's actually just incorporate that into Saudi Iraq. Same with the stuff they stole from Turkey. That's not looking good. The Iranians, in an effort to kind of like get by the Saudis, are actually or also like combo the Turkish, are actually going to push as well, and they're going to push into the north, and this is looking not very good for Turkey, honestly. Over here, though, the Afghanistanis are going to be able to push back against Iran, and that is definitely not looking good. However, the blue team is finally going to make a move in Afghanistan. Um, with the help of the Saudis, a little landing is going to get made in Oman over here. That's going to distract the Omanis, since that's very close to Muscat, and since a lot of people from the border are going to go there to help. Um, yeah, Oman is going to get butchered, absolutely butchered. Uh, Quickly, the Saudis use this to just run through Oman, like just cut it down the middle. And eventually, Yemeni troops from here are going to help with the finishing blow over here. And now most of Oman is gone. However, it's okay because that's not the populated regions. You know what's not okay? Yeah, I don't even know what to tell you about Yemen. Like, the red team is not winning Yemen. Yemen, I don't think the blue team is winning Yemen either. I feel like purple team wins Yemen. 'Cause, like, this is populated. That's desert. This is red team. Red team is not winning anything. Let's be honest here. Red team is so like red team Yemen is so isolated from the rest of the red team, so they're not gonna have that much supplies. I feel like Saudis are the only ones capable, not these blue team Yemens, to be able to deal damage in here. So that leaves with purple team realistically, and purple team is going to do exactly that. They're going to 1v1 the blue team Yemen, and they're going to cut through the south. They're going to be real smart about this, staying as far away uh from Saudi as possible. However, also targeting major cities. One of them being this little port, which I know is very well defended. However, it is eventually going to get destroyed. And over here, the purple team is going to beat out Yemen. But in the north, Saudi pressure is going to become too much, and northern Yemen is going to collapse. Now it's just south and north. The blue team versus purple team. However, remember that's funded by the UAE. I'm pretty sure, right? No. Well, okay, right now in this world at least, the UAE is going to be their biggest arms supplier since Oman is getting comboed and Turkey is literally cut off. So once the invasion of the UAE begins, these guys are going to actually start hurting a lot, and a lot of their people are going to start protesting, which is going to lead to them having to pull out of this, which is eventually going to lead to them being forced to actually have to switch sides. Yeah, I bet you didn't see that one coming. I know y'all did not see that one coming. So that's gone. Now all of Yemen is united under the blue team. That's good. However, there is a slight issue. I feel like Iran is not really going to be able to hold on to Afghanistan. And this is where the blue team is once again going to make their move. They're going to push through Iran and they're going to get all the way over here. They're going to completely destroy Iranian control. And now Afghanistan is looking a little bit sad as the revolutionaries are going to be taking over much more land than the actual Afghanistani government is inside of Iran. Now Afghanistan is very very sour about losing all this, so they don't make no mistake. They're going to they're going to capture a lot of stuff, and they're going to capture all of these Iranian lands, and eventually, with Iran now kind of having to leave Afghanistan, and also from having to leave the entire map because they're getting comboed, they're gonna completely surrender all these lands. And Balochistan is actually also going to crumble because now Afghanistan doesn't need to focus on Iran. However, that is not the end because Iran is going to actually get pushed even further now by the Syrian, or not Syrian, Turkish forces in Iraq. And, well, actually, also Syrian. And they're going to push pretty far, pretty far. However, the Saudis are now going to make their final move, and that is going to be the annihilation of the UAE and Oman. Basically, they're going to quickly make a landing on Muscat, destroy a lot of stuff, capturing Muscat and capitulating Oman. And from here, rapid bombardments on Dubai forced the UAE's surrender as they did not want Dubai to get comboed that difficult, which is going to be followed by Iran getting comboed over here. And now the red team is literally reduced to just Iran. Over here, though, to make sure that Turkey cannot get that much land out of Iran, a blitzkrieg mission is started in Syria where Syria gets completely captured alongside Lebanon. So southern Syria is now under the blue team alongside Lebanon, which is going to hit the Turkish heart, and they're now going to start diverting troops from Iran and into there instead. This is going to be helpful as Iran as Iran's going to kick them over there. However, what's not helpful to Iran is that the Turkish are eventually pushed out of Iraq, not Iraq, most of Iraq. Let's show that off real quick. So Turkey is going to get pushed into the north of Iraq and into these edges of Iraq, and the rest of Iraq is going to get completely blitzkrieged by the Saudis. And now the Saudis are going to employ a strategy. Instead of trying to win the civil war itself, they're going to target Iran and get most of their missions done. Quickly, they're going to be able to actually, with so much more troops than Iran now, push back the Iranian stuff over here. And it's not looking good for Iran, as Turkey is going to continue trying to fight these troops down here, who are going to just make it last as long as possible, so that Turkey can't swoop up any land in Iran. The Saudis, while that's happening, are going to launch their most strongest campaign of the video yet, and it's going to combo a lot of land. Quickly, the Saudis are going to capture all of this, and while that is happening, they're also going to start using a lot of the southern areas and make a lot of landings. And they're also, because I know these guys are very closely intertwined with Pakistan, with the help of Pakistan, they're going to actually set up a lot of military bases over here, and they're actually going to liberate the Balochistan region from Iran, which will become important in a second. So after doing this, the blue team Afghanistanis are going to quickly make a small little important cut right here. They're gonna connect each other. And that's going to lead to Afghanistan hurrying out of the Irani parts as they now realize they might be cooked. Yeah, let's be honest, they are definitely cooked. So quickly, Afghanistan is actually going to start getting wombo comboed Oops, that's Russia. That is not Afghanistan. Um, they're gonna start getting wombo comboed in the north, and eventually they're gonna have to surrender a lot of territories in exchange for a peace treaty. Those territories are gonna be all of this, and they're going to now solve Afghanistan, with Afghanistan becoming the north and the south just becoming southern Afghanistan. That's the name. Name changes also. Over here, though, the Saudis are going to continue their push, actually capturing the coastline of Iran, which now is the final blow to Iran. As now, let's be honest here, Iran is absolutely cooked. Over here, though, they're going to leave Syria in ruin in exchange for Turkish surrender. Turkey is going to sign that treaty almost immediately. However, they're going to also almost immediately begin their own invasion of Iran, which is going to actually fail miserably because Iran's weak, but not that weak. Turkey's probably weaker right now after what happened in Syria. However, not to worry because that region is now just weak in itself because of all those fighting, and that's going to lead to a Saudi intervention there and them capturing that. With that, we are going to have just steamrolling, let's just say, of Iran, and Iran's eventually going to get pushed all the way up there, where they are finally going to surrender, ending the war once and for all. Now let me go make a peace treaty. I will be all right. So taking a look at this peace treaty, we have Afghanistan kind of getting cooked. Obviously, the blue team of Afghanistan is now stronger. Independent Balochistan just to deal even more damage to Iran. We have Iran still exists, but like very very shallow version of itself. This is Saudi land. This is Yemen. UAE still exists with its old government. However, they barely have Dubai. Qatar, Kuwait got a lot of stuff. Jordan just became like a wall between Syria and Saudis. Egypt got a little bit out of Israel slash Palestine. Turkey and Syria got some stuff out of Iraq. Syria also got Lebanon as payment for what Saudi did in South Syria, but also to deal more damage to Iran in case they ever try to recover this land, because now they have to go through even more countries. Azerbaijan got a little bit out of Iran and Armenia, and then this has turned into a new Iranian state, while this is now just Saudi land, and Iraq is back, however, as a new government favorable to Saudi. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Make sure to like and subscribe, and the next one will be even better. So yeah, goodbye. Also, go check out Civilization Reset.